Hi everyone! Oh wait, headphones. Hi Brandy! Can you hear me okay? Hello! Can you hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me okay, Brandy. I'm gonna set up a weight light container. Perfect. And I'm gonna use my, if you could see it good, this is my black obsidian generator I got. So I'm gonna use that. So I want to clear any and all negative energy from my auric field, from the space that I'm in, also from a good radius around me, extending into the block that I live in. I also want to use this to create a safe container and clear any and all negative energy present in this space for those watching this live or on replay, so that this is a safe, nurturing, and supportive environment for receiving messages. I'm also going to call in a sacred white light container, and I'm going to do that in the same way. And I want to infuse this space with divine love and light and angelic guidance for the highest transmutation of messages of truth, healing, and peace for all. I also want to call on Archangel Michael, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Zadkiel, Archangel Raguel, Archangel Ariel, I'm not sure if I said her already, Archangel Shamuel. I want to call on my guides, my guardian angels. I want to call on the guides and guardian angels of all those watching live or on replay. I also want to call on the Ascended Masters Isis, Sekhmet, Hathor, Grand Tara, Babaji, Thoth, and I'm also hearing Osiris. And I'm also hearing actually like another variation of the name for Isis, Oset. And then I also want to call on ancestors, spirit animals, and power animals of God's white light that are willing and able to assist in this space. So with that, the circle is open. So welcome, welcome, welcome to tonight's Facebook Live. I know it's been a little while. So astro updates, the moon is in Pisces right now. The sun is in Taurus. So that's fairly harmonious because we have earth and water. So it's definitely a bit more harmonious than some of the aspects we had last week, which were more challenging. When the moon was in Aquarius, that was actually squaring the sun. And, you know, Aquarius likes Uranus energy. Taurus does not. And the beginning degrees of Taurus now are filled up with Uranus in Taurus. So that's a bit of an interesting dichotomy there. But we're past that energy. And we do have planets that are outer planets that are going retrograde. I don't really have too much astro updates to share right now. I definitely want to get into more of the cards. But I did want to speak about the fact that it is moon in Pisces. So if you're feeling a little bit more sluggish, that could be why. Also, Taurus energy tends to be more slow, but it's more slow because it's assessing, right? And kind of like calculating and receiving energy before it takes forward motion. So you might find that there are opportunities that are coming your way and things for you to investigate and explore, but you might be taking some extra time to kind of like assess them and review them, and that's perfectly okay, you know. Think about too that each sun sign is a cycle, right? So when we have one sun sign, it's characteristic of one type of energy, and you want to capture that energy for what it is while you're in it. So we finished Aries season, which was about taking initiative and being really just getting out there and taking that initiative and being direct and forward, right? Now we're in Taurus, which is a little bit of a step back. And we need that sometimes, right? And we want to be integrating before we go into Gemini season, which will be Mercury ruled, which will be a lot more intense, right? In a good way, but just like a busy way. So that's just kind of like a good disclaimer to think about there. In terms of business updates, we are nearing the end of the month, so it's a good time to get a customized moon report for May if you're interested in that. That's when I go into your personal natal chart and I speak about new and full moons for the month and what's happening for you specifically in your astro chart. And I also do a card pull for each of those. It's a more affordable offering and way to get to know your astrology chart. And then also my Fearlessly Fairy group. So I will soon be recording the messages for the month of May for my Fearlessly Fairy members. So people that subscribe to that, it's $20 a month, and you get access to a private Facebook group. You also get a reflection document that you can fill out. You also get a 20% discount on any private readings with me. Hi, Sandra. And then you also get a weekly message delivered to your email inbox every week. So it's a pretty good deal. So let's see, in terms of business updates, I wanted to talk about customized moon reports. I want to talk about Fearlessly Fairy. Of course, I'm a certified angel card reader, but I've been starting to even open myself up to using the term like oracle card reader, because I don't just work with angel cards. I also work with fairy cards and all different kinds of cards. But definitely a professional card reader as well as a professional astrologer. So I'm always available for private readings in either of those arenas. And the pricing really varies depending upon what you're interested in getting. Right now, I am in the process of doing... Oh, you're watching from work. That's funny, Sandra. I'm in the process of doing very long-term, long-standing updates to my website. I have a website that's up, but there's a lot of work that I need to do behind the scenes to get it up to speed with all of the offerings I have. So you're welcome to check out my website, but to be honest, a better way to find out what's a good fit for you is probably to email me or to message me on my Facebook business page, so we can chat like one-on-one about what's going on with your budget and what you're looking for. And usually that works great. Also, you can follow me on my social media. I'm pretty active on Instagram as well as Facebook. But definitely also, if you message me to my Facebook business page and you don't get a reply, email is a better way to go. I check my email every day, whereas my Facebook messages, I do not always do that. So it depends kind of how you want to reach me. Hi Kim. Were you also known as Queen? I forget if you changed your name. Thank you, Brandy, for sharing my email. Brandy is my Facebook Live angel, so sometimes she'll be sharing things to help you guys out and help me out because I can't type and talk at the same time. Thank you, Kim. I received that. Yes, I very much received that. So, let's see. So I covered some astro updates. I covered some business updates. I am going to open up space to do... Okay, cool. I am going to open up space to do a single card message for people, but I think I'm going to do this differently. I actually want to do this, instead of the order in which they appear, I'm actually going to do it to just those I feel intuitively called to. And what I will be doing is a couple of those, and then I'm going to segue over to the sign by sign for the week. So if you're new to my Facebook Lives, what I do with that is I do a single card pull for each zodiac sign for the week. So it lets everybody get access to a spiritual piece of information that can support them for this week moving forward. And I've got some really cool decks tonight. So I have this new deck, thanks to my sister Sandra. I'm so excited. I picked this out and really was drawn to this deck. So I'm really happy about getting to use it. And this is the Sacred Geometry Activations deck, Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. So I've got that tonight. And for those of you who are in my Fearlessly Fairy group, you guys will be getting messages from this deck for this month, my paid subscription group. I've also got magical messages from the fairies, and then I also have Angel Tarot, just to round it out. So if you would like a card pull, right? I know I'm really excited too, Brandy. If you'd like a card pull, leave a note in the chat, and I'm going to intuitively pick people. And like I said, everybody will get access to information because I will switch over and do the sign by sign for the week. So everybody will get access to information, but a couple of you will also get the additional bonus of a single card pull. So, and that's just how we do. I'm going to shuffle this deck a little bit more. Just because I already shuffled it and I cleared it and consecrated it earlier today. Okay, so let's start with Kim and Sandra. Okay, no problem, Brandy. All right, so let's see. All right, so for Kim, I'm feeling called to Angel Tarot. What does Kim need to know right now? I'm also getting a nudge, Kim, with the color blue, which is the throat chakra. So I don't know if there's something going on where you're needing to express yourself more, speak up more. But I actually worked a lot with the throat chakra today myself, so I can relate. What does Kim need to know right now? And the card you have is Renewal, Archangel Jeremiel. That archangel is actually associated with, hold on one sec, guys. My ear is itching. Okay. You have Renewal with Archangel Jeremiel. So Archangel Jeremiel is actually associated with forgiveness. It says, review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts, time to move in a new direction. So there's a lot of water energy in this card. So there's like a lot of emotions that are being stirred and are going on. But if you notice, it's like there's this group of people here. So this could be you and like a certain group of people, a partner or even associated with children in some way. And there is this archangel that's there and he's leading the way. So it's like, even though there might be some turbulent waters, some emotions going on, I think your focus right now needs to be on meditating and communicating with the angels and the divine for guidance. You also might want to check out the Ho'oponopono prayer, the Hawaiian forgiveness prayer, because that can help a lot with forgiveness, you know. And all of the spiritual practices really help with forgiveness. So breath work, yoga, mantra, meditation, all of these things can really support us to clear resentments and negative energy from our body. And I can relate. I went through something very challenging last week, and it required me to have to use my throat chakra and speak up, and that involved a risk, and there was consequences from that risk. But so it did result in a loss of a particular relationship in my life as it related to career things. But I do not for a second regret speaking up for myself. So, you know, there's been a lot of energy that came up through that, but certainly through yoga and just taking a lot of quiet, nurturing time, really been able to nurture myself back to a better energetic place. And I think a huge part of that also was forgiving myself and forgiving the person involved, and just accepting that we were perhaps a karmic relationship. There was something we had to teach each other, you know? Yes. So take it from me, Kim, that I spoke up about something that I was scared to speak up about last week. I was very scared to do it, but I took about 24 hours to. So number one, what I would recommend with that is don't react emotionally right when it happens. Take a little bit of space from the scenario. Maybe journal about your feelings, feel them out if you need to cry them out, or if it's anger, whatever the feelings are, process those feelings, maybe journal them. For me, you know, my moon is in the 12th house. My moon is in Libra, so I really connect with music too. When I feel like I need to process emotions, music helps me to get in touch with them. And also what helped me was calling a friend. There was a lot of things that helped me to move through the process. But ultimately, I would recommend take a little bit of space, but don't completely neglect how you feel. So in my case, I was sort of working through in my mind what to do about it. And I took about 24 hours before I circled back and communicated. And I prayed a lot over the way that I communicated, did via email, and prayed a lot over that, and really just was at a place of surrender and peace, that I knew that I had to share this, and I knew I had to speak my truth about this, and I was prepared to deal with the consequences and trust that whatever those consequences were for my highest good. So that's what I would recommend, is to kind of take a little bit of space, approach the speaking up of your feelings from a more grounded way and a very loving way about loving yourself. And I think that if you do that, you'll be like totally good, and it will really support you, you know, because you'll feel good that you stuck up for yourself, you know. I love Moon in Taurus, Kim. Some of the most long-term relationships I've had in my life have been with people that have Moon in Taurus, and also I have like a really good friend that has Moon in Taurus. I love a Moon in Taurus, and I love that whole Taurus-Scorpio axis, actually. I love Moon in Scorpio, and I love Moon in Taurus. So, you know, it could just be that it's taking you a little bit longer to budge, you know, with some of the feelings, but I think that ultimately some of the things I was talking about still hold true. You know, if you feel like your value, if you feel like you're being devalued or that your worth is not being appreciated, and that was kind of what was going on in my scenario. Yeah, Taurus rising too. So, you know, for me, Taurus is my 7th house. It's my relationship house. So it's a huge part of who I am because I'm Libra rising, and that makes Venus my chart ruler, and Taurus is a Venus ruled sign. So it's a really important energy to me, and also for a lot of people right now because Uranus is in Taurus. So a lot of us are learning about respecting ourselves and our self-worth and what's of value. So what I could say is just that if you kind of let something slide, that's okay. You don't have to pick every battle to fight. But there is a way to approach something as a learning lesson and to approach it in a loving way if you're able to kind of do it from a grounded way. And I think ultimately if we don't implement the ways in which we need to speak up for ourselves in that particular instance, it either will snowball and become a deeper issue that now really is gnawing at you, or it might just resolve itself, but that lesson might appear in some other way for you to deal with. So honestly, it's always good to kind of tackle your problems sort of head on, but I give the caveat of not reacting impulsively or emotionally so you can kind of come back to it. And I really recommend that like 24-hour rule, you know. Yes, I would definitely recommend it, Kim. And for me, honestly, what helped me to do it was to process all of my feelings, all of the anger and all of the emotion I had. I definitely went through a lot of range of emotions that first night that I was experiencing it and processing it. And then just was very gentle with myself, moving through those emotions. And then the next day, just kind of rehearsing in my head how I was going to communicate it. So that can also help too. Sort of like rehearsing or preparing yourself for how am I going to communicate this, and almost like as if you were an actor or an actress, right? Like preparing for the show, preparing for how you're going to speak your truth or how you're going to communicate that. So by the time you actually get to do it, you're really well rehearsed, and it's like you're pretty strong in that, you know. So that can help a lot. It's interesting too. I also pulled, let's see if I could find it because you guys might like this, the throat chakra card from this deck. And it really blew my mind because I actually did an hour of throat chakra yoga, Kundalini yoga today, specifically on truth and communication. And then I pulled out this new deck I have, and the very first card that I pulled was this card, throat chakra. And I was just like, oh my God, you can't make this stuff up. You know, it says the frequency of the throat chakra, the blue flower of life, supports our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance. So if it also helps you, I would recommend bringing in some blue stones. Lapis lazuli would be really good. Azurite, Azurite, that would be another good one as well. Yeah, so I completely understand where you're coming from. I really, really do, and I wish you all the best. Well, that's good. I wish you all the best, and I believe in you that you can communicate what you need to communicate and stick up for yourself, because I just went through it, and it was really scary. But I've kind of come out the other side of it, and I'm just at peace with what I did. I do not regret for a second the choice that I made, even though it led to consequences that kind of was hoping wouldn't happen. I still don't regret the choice I made because I genuinely feel like it was what was appropriate for me. Yeah, you're so welcome. Okay, so let's pull for Sandra. I'm feeling for fairies for Sandra. Does Sandra need to know right now? Oh my gosh. We have one or two. Let's see here. So this is a great card too from the fairies in light of what we were just talking about. But for Sandra, and also perhaps a message for the collective, we have You've Got the Power. Such a cool card. And it says, use your abilities to resolve this situation. You can do it. So this is just cheering you on. It's sort of like there's this invisible tightrope, right? And it's sort of like this little fairy child. You're like, how could this person possibly walk this like teeny tiny tightrope and make it to the other side? But it's like, if you believe in yourself and you have that confidence enough, you can do it. You know, you can make it happen. You can create that change. You can do the things that you want. The other card that we got for you, Sandra, was Sun, that your son is watched over and protected as he explores this world. Now, you don't have to have an actual son or male child in your life with this card. This could absolutely be a pet. This could also be the relationship with your own inner child. This could also be your inner masculine energy, you know, that kind of playful, free-spirited energy. So I'm wondering for you, Sandra, if there's something that you're needing to take action on, but you're sort of like questioning yourself or not believing in yourself that you can do it. And fairies are saying, go, 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 you can do it, you are safe. I'm wondering if that also relates to, you know, you feeling like you're not safe in some type of way. So let's see. Brandy, if you're here and you'd like a card pull, let me know. Take a sip of my drink. Hola! So I'm not sure if Brandy's here, so I'm going to open up generally if you'd like a single card pull. Probably take like 2 more of these, and then I'm going to segue over to the sign-by-sign card pulls for the week so that everybody will get a chance to receive. You're welcome, Sandra. I hope that was helpful. All right, so Roseanne, am I saying that right? I think like a lot of people need Angel Tarot. All right, so Roseanne and Joe. So let's see. What does Roseanne need to know right now? So it's interesting for you, Roseanne. I'm feeling like my lips started to like curl into a smile. So I feel like there's something possibly going on for you, Roseanne, that's like secretly making you smile or making you feel good. Just feeling like definitely a different energy than what I was feeling with, you know, some of the other things there. So let's see, what does Roseanne need to know right now? All right, so, that's good, Roseanne. So for you, we have 2 of water, a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. So I'm wondering if there's like some type of new person in your life. Does not have to necessarily be romantic, could be a career, could be a friendship, doesn't have to be like a love-based relationship, but certainly could be. But it's like this is the energy of 2, right, which is about partnerships and duality, and then this is also related to emotions. The water element in this deck corresponds to the cups in the tarot. So it's like we're feeling good that there's some type of partnership here that you're working together. Some of it might be happening kind of behind the scenes. That might be where I was getting that energy of it being like hidden or, hi Amy, that might be where I was getting the energy of it being like hidden or more secretive. So there might be something going on where it's like you're meeting up with someone and it's a little bit behind the scenes or secretive there. Or it's like there's some type of relationship brewing or some type of new opportunity or friendship that's brewing, but it's going on kind of behind the scenes. And, you know, it says the positive resolution of a conflict. So it's like in the ways where there might have been tension either within you or between other people as it relates to these new partnerships and endeavors, I feel like that's starting to smooth itself out now. And, you know, overall, this is a really happy card, you know, and I'm also really drawn to the, I think they're clownfish, the yellow clownfish in this card. So I would recommend too for you, Roseanne, to work with the solar plexus chakra. So bringing in the element of air and playfulness. The solar plexus chakra is associated with Virgo, which is associated with basically Mercury-based earth. So you could work with like earth and air. But I would recommend working with citrines or yellow calcites would be really good. Also looking at things around your diet and how you're balancing work and play are really important things related to the solar plexus chakra. So there you have it, Roseanne. Okay, so Joe, and like I said, guys, I'm going to take a couple more of these, then we're going to transition to the sign-by-sign card pulls for the week so everybody gets a chance to receive. You're welcome, Roseanne. And of course, I always leave this open. You know, if you enjoyed the reading that I gave, you're welcome to pop over to the reviews part of my Facebook business page. You can leave a review there. that's always helpful for people that just like have no idea what I do, for them to receive and see kind of what it feels like to receive a reading from me. And sometimes I do also pull from those and plop them like in places. So just keep in mind, if you put one there, that it's like free reign for me to reuse it on my social feeds or potentially my website. All right, so let's see. What does Joe need to know right now? Joe, you are the first person to receive a reading from this new deck that is not for me. Let's see what we have. All right, so you have realization, number 37. How cool is that image? And also, I think I said this at the beginning, but my Fearlessly Fairy members, you guys are getting messages from this deck for this month of May, the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. I was really drawn to work with this deck, and I'm excited for my FF members to receive from it for this month. So this one says, the frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in the world. So that was a bit of a mouthful, Joe, but what I'm feeling is that you could see in this card that we've got kind of like concentric circles of blue and green, and then we also have yellow extending all the way out to orange. So a lot of themes were coming up. I was explaining about an experience I went through earlier in the live, and just a lot of themes were coming up around the throat chakra. So we've definitely got that in the mix here for you too, Joe, communicating. But I feel like for you, it's almost like this communication is important because it's also connected to your heart chakra. And then your heart chakra is also connected to your solar plexus chakra. And then the solar plexus is also connected to the sacral. So I'm wondering for you, Joe, if maybe there's some work that needs to get done around clearing your chakras. Maybe there's like multiple chakras that need healing for you right now. And, you know, good ways to do that are, a really basic way is to just connect in with what color feels good for me to wear or integrate today. And check in with your intuition. I'll probably tell you. And if it's a color that kind of doesn't fit within the base 7 chakra systems, use your intuition as to what that's really about. Like if the color is peach, maybe you're feeling like you need some sacral chakra and some solar plexus work. You know, is that a blend of like yellow and orange kind of thing? If you want to go deeper with chakra clearing, I actually have a chakra clearing curriculum that I wrote where I go in depth about different very easy DIY techniques to clear your chakras. And then I also recorded a meditation along with that, which you can buy as part of a bundle with that chakra clearing curriculum or separately as its own like standalone meditation. And I walk you through each chakra, and it's a really fun meditation, about 20 minutes or so, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, feel free to reach out if you're interested in that. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do, what am I feeling? I'm going to do one more single card pull, and then I'm going to transition to the sign by signs for the week. I think, and then like, again too, don't feel like you have to pop off once I go to the sign by signs, because I'm basically giving information for each zodiac sign for the week, so everybody gets a chance to receive with that. You're welcome, Joe. All right, so I'm going to do one more single card pull. Thank you so much, Brandy. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you guys so much for the love. I so much appreciate it. It is needed. Yeah, like I said to you guys, I'm doing a lot of work behind the scenes on my website, so it's probably best if you just message me one-on-one to discuss what's kind of good for you based on your needs and your budget. I joke with people, it's like, I am very creative, so it's almost like I created all these children, right? I have all these different types of services and offerings. So it's like I created all these children, but these children don't have rooms, they don't have bedding in the house, and they need places to sleep, right? So my website has to function as a way to contain all of the creativity that I birthed over the past like year and a half. So the website that I have right now is not really a reflection of that, because it's very basic, you know? So my website updates are just taking a lot of time, and then what happens is life takes over and other priorities take over, and then I don't get time for that. So it's sort of like an ongoing process, and I just have to keep surrendering that it will get complete and finished and done, and serve as a place for people to go in and navigate. But in the meantime, the best way to kind of check in about what's best for you would probably be to just email me or communicate with me one-on-one, because we can hash it out really quickly. I know all my children's names, all my services in my head, so I'll be able to, advise you. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you. I needed that. All right, so if we don't have anybody, Brandy, would you like a single card pull before I go into the sign by signs? Thank you, Brandy. Thank you for sharing that. Let's do a single. Brandy's one of my besties, so I know she's going to say yes. So let's see. So what does Brandy need to know right now? Perfect. All right, we have admit your true feelings to yourself. What a theme for this live, right? We had totally about that. You've got the power earlier. We had the whole throat chakra story and everything I was talking about with that. Major theme going on for this live. It says, be honest with yourself. Only you know what it is that you truly desire. So this is about just connecting in with the divine, right? Maybe more time in meditation, more time connecting and kind of just tuning in with, okay, what feels right? What doesn't? What's my next step? What do I do with today? And something that I've been trying a lot lately, Brandy, which maybe will help you too, because, Brandy, you have strong Aries energy. And although I'm not in Aries, my Jupiter is at 29 degrees of Aries. So I can sometimes react. I can just sometimes act before I've thought it through, so I can just move my body into a situation before I've actually thought about if I should do that. So what I've been trying to train myself to do is to almost stop myself before I just automatically walk there or go to that situation and say, is it in alignment or out of alignment for me to do this thing right now? And insert whatever it is. So is it in alignment or out of alignment for me to do whatever the thing is you were thinking about doing impulsively, right? And check yourself, because a lot of times it will be in alignment, but you'll find yourself sometimes where it's not in alignment. You'll hear quickly it's out of alignment. Yeah, it's really helpful, Brandy, because it's not to say that you will not do that thing or talk to that person or address that or get that thing done. It's just that it's not in alignment for you right now. So you have to follow your own vibration and not just sync up with other people's vibrational pulls, right? So it's a really powerful technique, and I've been doing it, but it's not something that it's you do it one time and it's done. You have to do it like a habit, and you have to train yourself into it, and you have to train yourself out of acting impulsively and ask yourself, almost is it worth it for me to do this thing right now, or could it wait? Is kind of the follow-up questions behind that, but that key phrase of, is it in alignment or out of alignment for me to do this blah, blah, blah right now? And try that out. It will really help you out, and it does help me out a lot too. Oh, thank you. I got a haircut today, which was so long overdue. You guys don't even realize. I think it was September was the last time I got a haircut, and I ended up actually going to a really cheap haircut place where they don't even wash your hair, but it was exactly what I needed, because I really need highlights and I need to save money in order to get the highlights. So it was sort of a little creative hack. I decided to split those two things up. So instead of getting the haircut at the expensive salon where I'll get the highlights done, I went and got the haircut done separately at a cheaper place, so that I saved money there, which now supports me to get the money from the other place. So worked out really well. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you. Yeah, it works for me, and let me tell you, it was needed. So the next step now is the highlights, and then I'll be a happy woman. So that's stage 2. Okay, so let's transition to the sign by signs for the week. So if you're new to this, what I'm going to do is go through each zodiac sign each of the zodiac signs, each of the 12 zodiac signs, and I'm going to pull a single card focus message for the week. So you want to pay attention to your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. I'll also add in there, if you know your first house, I would recommend you pay attention to that message as well. So for example, with me, I'm a Virgo sun, Libra moon, Libra rising. However, my rising sign is at 29 degrees of Libra, so actually my first house is Scorpio. So for me, I actually pay attention whenever I listen to a reading. I pay attention to Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. But if you're only going to listen to one, there's no way you can only listen to one. You have to like put the whole piece, all the pieces together. But anyway, so let's do this from fairies. And let's see. Should I put you guys in here? No. Okay, so I'm going to keep those out and we're going to do this from fairies. Okay, so for this week, Aries, 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 what does Aries need to know for this week? For Aries, we have whom do you need to forgive? And this says, as you release old anger or resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. So definitely I'm also getting a nudge about the Hawaiian forgiveness prayer again. Could be really helpful. But just letting go of anger and fear and bitterness and resentment and just allowing that to kind of move out so that better, higher vibrational, more love-filled vibrations can sink in. And in that process, that's going to help you to advance and move and what I'm hearing is just get to the next step, because there might be like some frustration or some bitterness there about not understanding how to get to the next step, and in letting go of your frustrated or bitter or resentful feelings, it will help you to get there. Yeah, good one. Okay, for Taurus, what does Taurus need to know for this week? We have love life. This basically says, the basis of your question involves your romantic life, which is now changing for the better. Now, this could also be like a love life relationship with a job or something like that, or like a platonic friendship. It can be many different things. But this is to say, and of course, we're in the season of Taurus, which is about its Venus-ruled Earth. So it is a lot about love and sensuality and the beauty of life, right? So for Taurus this week, it's just reveling in that energy of what feels playful, what feels good, what feels loving, bringing in those love-filled relationships into your life. That's the focus for you this week, Taurus. All right, so I had a card flip over from Angel Tarot. You for Gemini. So actually, I feel like this is for Gemini, because this just like flipped over as I was about to do Gemini. So we have Four of Earth, being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. So I'm wondering too with Gemini if there's something going on maybe as it relates to extremes. So it's like you're either extremely open and communicative with people, or you're extremely closed off and very private, or you're extremely in flow with your money and your resources, or you're extremely closed off and shut down with spending them on anything. There might be something going on with extremes that needs some balancing. And not really surprising if I think about the fact that Jupiter is in Sagittarius. So for Geminis, they're probably they definitely are under an opposition. It depends what the degrees are, with their personal planets as to if that's actually what we would call in astrology in orb or not. But whenever we have an opposition to like a sun, a moon, or a personal planet, it creates an exaggeration around that energy where it just kind of like inflates it. And because Jupiter expands whatever it's involved in, right? So when Jupiter is in opposition, the opposing sign to that person's sign, it's creating a pull, like a big pull, right? On the other end of the zodiac. So it's like this big planet is pulling like this, and this little planet, most planets are going to be smaller than Jupiter, is over here. So this can create like an imbalance, and the person has to work on balancing those two energies. I have a Jupiter opposition in my chart. My Jupiter is opposed my moon. Exact. So sometimes what happens is that because my Jupiter is at 29 Aries, I can throw myself in head first, or like I was talking about earlier, I can just like launch myself into a situation without maybe weighing out both sides, which is the Libran quality. But fortunately, I have a lot of energy in Libra, so that actually helps me to, balance. But balance is a really important theme for me, at the same time as taking initiative and sometimes just being spontaneous as too. So it works both ways. Oppositions are very interesting, especially when Jupiter is involved. So for Geminis, they might be going through something like that right now, where they're, because it would be Gemini and Sag. So Gemini is about facts and learning. Sag is about higher learning, faith, belief systems, associated with like universities and spirituality even too. So it's like maybe there's something going on with gems right now where they're just like, I need to get all this information, but they're not like integrating it, or they're on the other side of it where it's like they're just absorbing all this information about spirituality, but they're not putting it into practice. So there might be something there where there's like an imbalance. Okay, so for Cancer, what does Cancer need to know for this week? All right, for Cancer, we have let go. So definitely this is a card of surrender. This could also be about taking a little bit of time inward. You could see that the little fairy there is in her nest, and she's just kind of like observing the surroundings around her. So for Cancer this week, I'm getting the nudge that maybe part of your medicine this week is to not actually act or react. It's actually to surrender and to just observe. I feel like that is a main message for Cancer for this week. And pay attention to the signs that nature is sending. Yeah, definitely. Pay attention to the signs that nature is sending you. This is like a message for everyone, because when we are able to observe, we're able to see things in nature that can really support us and lift us up. Like there's a particular bird that I've been noticing, a red cardinal specifically, and it's just appearing at random times that I really need it. And I looked at the spiritual meaning behind red cardinals, and it's about new beginnings and positivity and openness and good luck. A lot of different things. But the heralding of like new energy initiating itself, So for me, that's now kind of become a sign from my guides that it's like, oh, just at this moment that you were worrying and you were praying, well, we're going to manifest this for you to see. So definitely paying attention to nature can be really supportive for us. All right, Leo. Does Leo need to know for this week? We have assertiveness. Stand up for your beliefs and only say yes if you really want to. I can definitely relate to this, as I talked about the experience I went through last week, and my midheaven, which is the career part of my chart, and my public image is in Leo. So, it's not always easy to stick up for yourself and to be brave in the face of situations where you feel like mistreated or that you need to speak up, but you definitely won't regret the other side of that equation, which is after you've spoken up for yourself, you won't regret the fact that you've spoken up for yourself, because how could you ever regret standing up for your value and your worth, right? So this is about understanding. But also with that, it's understanding the right battles to fight, understanding how to present yourself in that scenario, like I was talking about earlier in the live, taking that 24 hours to process, Okay, Virgo, what does Virgo need to know for this week? We have, such a good card. I'm patting myself on the back. Yes, when you watch the replay, sister, you'll catch the part that you missed. So for Virgo, we have your wish is granted. Whoop, whoop. What you've asked for is coming true. So what I love about this card is like you've been manifesting and making these wishes and making these hopeful intentions behind the scenes. And it's like releasing it into the universe, letting the universe answer those manifestations and those desires and those prayers, So that conscious co-creating with the universe of asking for what you want and then letting yourself receive it. Big theme for Virgos this week. And then we have Libra. What does Libra need to know for this week? We have everything's okay. Don't worry, it's all working out in a beautiful way. I always love this card. There is never a time when you pull this card and it's like too much. It's always more than enough to receive this message. Like I can never get tired of receiving this message. So this is just like that nurturing and that support from your guides and the angels and the universe saying it's okay, everything's okay. Scorpio. What does Scorpio need to know for this week? For Scorpio, we have spring. Your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. Well, as luck would have it, we are in spring. So I feel like this is also a really auspicious card for Scorpios. Just affirming that things are beginning to now take fruit, I'm hearing, and fruition in the spring. Again, kind of that message of looking for signs from nature as evidence from your guides about the way that, things are working or going there. Sagittarius, what does Sagittarius need to know for this week? We've got be yourself. Be yourself. I know, right? So good, Brandy. The situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. So what I'm hearing for you, Sagittarius, is that, or, like I said, Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, is even if you feel like you're weird or you're kind of like off the beaten path with it, find the people that resonate with you for being that way. Find the people that resonate with you for who you are and all your quirks and what you have to offer. So finding the right people, the right tribe to support you and being kind of that unicorn self that you are. I think that's a really important message for Sag this week. Capricorn, what does Capricorn need to know for this week? For Capricorn, we have autumn. So this is saying that desires, things that you're working on manifesting are going to come to fuller form in the fall. And it specifically says in the fall season, everything comes together and you reap wonderful harvests of abundance. So requiring maybe a bit of patience for you, Caps, with that. However, if you remember a couple Facebook Lives back, I was pulling a lot of, oh, that's so good. I'm so glad, Sandra. That makes me happy. For Caps, if you remember a couple of Facebook Lives back, I was pulling a lot of energy cards about go, 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 like movement, manifestation. And then I think the last Facebook Live I did, I had pulled an energy message about Caps starting, the need for them to slow down a little bit. So I feel like this is kind of a continuation of that. It's like, I feel like for Caps, they're kind of meant to integrate the things that they've manifested thus far and kind of do like more of an inward of self-assessment. I'm also hearing the Saturn retrograde. So I believe that Saturn's already gone retrograde. Or if not, it is doing so today, but it's like we're right in that window where Saturn's going retrograde, and because Capricorns are Saturn ruled, that's important to them. So that's another astrology hack, is you really want to pay attention to your ruling planet. So the planet that rules your chart, when that planet goes retrograde, that's going to affect you more than another planet going retrograde because your chart is ruled by that. So for example, with me, I am a Libra rising. So Venus is my chart ruler. So paying attention to the Venus retrogrades is very important to me. And also the changing of signs of Venus is also really important. So for Sandra, you said that you were Taurus rising, so you would have similar, right? Paying attention to the cycles of Venus, Venus retrogrades, and the changing of signs of Venus. If you guys have questions, feel free to throw a planet at me and I'll tell you who it's ruled by, or who is the association. But yeah, that's another good astrology hack, is paying attention to that. All right, Capricorn. So Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know right now? Or no, sorry. What does Aquarius need to know for this week? Not doing that now. We're doing this week. All right, for Aquarius, we have dietary change. So improve your diet and your life will also improve. So some changes there to diet, looking at maybe following a more plant-based diet, bringing in more life-fulfilling nutrients is actually what I'm hearing. So paying attention to the colors of the foods that you eat. You want to have a nice diversity of colors. And, part of what gives me a lot of resilience and a lot of my energy is the diet that I follow. And like this past weekend when I was dealing with a lot, I really went into a place where I was like, okay, well, you need to give extra love and self-care to what you eat. This is not a time to just kind of go off the rails with that. So I definitely attribute diet as being an important self-care thing that you manage, and also something that helps you with energy management and healing and forgiveness. All of these things are also interwoven into diet. And last but not least, Pisces. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. What does Pisces need to know for this week? All right, I'm also hearing caffeine too. That might be a message for somebody too. Diet can also include beverages. So if you're having too many caffeinated beverages or too many sugary beverages, that also could be something to cut back on. So for Pisces this week, we have spiritual teacher. What I'm hearing really strongly is somebody has something to learn. Someone has something to learn from you this week, Pisces. So I feel like putting yourself into situations, and also the moon's in Pisces right now, which is interesting, but putting yourself into situations in which you can be helpful to people and provide healing advice, or just hold space for them, or like help them to maybe move into a place of like compassion and forgiveness with themselves or another person. I feel like there's something there with Pisces, sun, moon, rising, this week. And how cute is this little bunny? I was just looking at him and he's so cute. Okay, anyway. It says your life purpose involves teaching others about healing and spirituality. So definitely for Pisces this week, just connecting with that kind of subconscious part of themselves that is able to tap into that subconscious realm. That's something that Pisces is really good at. They really excel with that. And a lot of times too, it's a good message for all of us. Like when we're needing to kind of access some of that forgiveness, sometimes it is good to consult with someone that has some of that Pisces energy, because they have easier access to it, than maybe you might in this scenario. Let's also do, I'm going to do a quick Angel Tarot card pull overall message for all of us for this week. Actually, no, let's do it from the Sacred Geometry one. So what does the collective need to know for this week? We have Heart Chakra. So totally in line with what I was just talking about with compassion, self-care, forgiveness. How amazing is that card and that pattern? I don't know if you guys could see it. There you go. A little better there. Those of you, like I said, in my Fearlessly Fairy group will be getting the best of these cards for this month. So it says the frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. So definitely bringing in awareness about the heart chakra, which is associated with love, and love is also associated with Taurus, love of the earth, love of, the land, love of the simple pleasures in life, love of the relationships, the foods that we eat, doing things with love and doing things with a tenderness where we value them. That can have such a big effect on us, and to pay attention to that. Good stuff. Okay, so I want to clear all of the energy from this space. And I want to thank all of the guides, guardians, angels, ancestor spirits, power animals, totem animals that were willing and able to assist in this space. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for those of you that stuck on for my live, who are also catching this on replay. Feel free to tag friends in the comments. You're welcome to share this video. And of course, you're welcome to email me or message my inbox if you're interested in a private reading. You're so welcome, Brandy. Thank you for your loving words. I receive them and I appreciate them. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.